Hey guys, it's Baby Bear, and I hate having to make these kind of videos. I know that Evony can be disappointing, and I try to find some entertaining twist to put on all the mishaps and missteps that Evony does to us. But this is one where I'm gonna be serious in this video, and thanks to Genghis for doing a video on this because we had this conversation in one of our Discord channels, but I totally just like went by it because all I saw were a bunch of like feet conversations because everybody talks about feet when it comes to Helen. If you know, you know. You have to watch that Game of Thrones scene with Helen and her feet. But I I want to thank also Meek8. She's the one that actually brought this up to everyone's attention. After the update, it was I think 6:21 that she brought this to everybody's attention. The update happened at 6:19. They completely changed this buff. Okay, now look carefully because a lot of people glaze over it. I know I did. Look at the second one called Dance of Pretty, and it says enemy troop attack. All right, you know what that means, right? Enemy troop attack. That means it's all the troops. That means it's mounted, ground, siege, and range. All right, now look at what happened after the update. They actually had the audacity to change it to enemy ground troop and mounted troop attack only. Guys, this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Game developers can't do this. This is a breach of trust, and this is just so wrong on so many levels. Every game company, if they want to nerf something, they will just bring out a counter debuff to that debuff, right? But they already did. They brought out K45. They brought out MA6. They brought out Ideal Land. They brought out Spirit Beast boosts. They already brought out a lot of boosts that are going to counteract that buff. So why did they change it without telling us? Why did they change it anyway? You know, why do they change it just in general? Because we already are going to be outmatched by the people who are going to be able to spend on those buffs that I just talked about. Why would they change it? I would love to think that maybe this is a mistake, but how can it be a mistake if they actually change the wording, right? How can that be a mistake? I mean, couldn't they have made the new champion have a counter buff to this debuff, right? But no, they didn't do that. Well, I think they might have, but they didn't do it to this extent. It's just so wrong on so many levels, guys, that this is something that we cannot let this happen. So if you guys can do something, put in the comments below that you wrote to customer service that they have to reverse this. They have to put it back to where it was. Don't ask for compensation because you're not going to get the compensation that you actually spent to get it. Ask for them to reverse it back to what it was. And honestly, if they do end up doing compensations, they need to give everyone, the amount of boxes that it took to get, to get to wherever points you're at. There's a lot of people that have maxed Helen, so they should get more compensation than like someone like me that has 17 or somebody that has like 6. But there needs to be compensation if they're not willing to change that buff. I imagine it's cheaper for them to just change the buff back, right? What are they losing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. To take that away from everyone is so wrong. It's just so wrong. To not even say it, so wrong. And believe me, this is a breach of term of service from the distributors, right? This is not just about the customer. It's about the distributors. Can't do that. So listen, guys, I don't ask a lot from people, but if you can just put in the comments that you wrote to customer service, send them these screenshots of the before and after. And I really urge you guys to start screenshotting and putting in a dated folder and do like an Evony folder, your current buffs, so that this won't be something that happens again and we can keep record of it. Because honestly, if it wasn't for Genghis and Meek8 who brought this up earlier, I don't think a lot of us would have noticed, right? I mean, sure, people would notice and people would put in their complaints, but we have to think on a larger scale now, all right? We have to think of the Evony community as a whole. And what has happened is really devastating that we have seen our friends, people that we grew up with, quote unquote. I feel like I've lost a lot of like my friends from the very beginning of this game, and they all have quit in mass exodus, and they're very high level keeps, high VIP numbers. So that's number one. That's just sad to lose people. And of course it's just a game, right? It's a game. They're gonna live out their lives and they're gonna be better off with Ebony. But we still have to play Ebony, that, the people that actually want to stick around. But we have to kind of make sure that we're looking out for each other and the community as a whole. And there has to be a point where we have to say, you know what, this is not acceptable. As a community, we cannot take this difference in a buff, like, and done so shadily, no notification whatsoever. It wasn't in that update guide, right? They didn't say, oh, and we decided to, nerf Helen's champion. No, they didn't say that. So let's all do each other a favor and really, really push these CS tickets about the Helen debuff. And let's see if we can make at least some changes. I get it on the alts and bots, and I get it on certain things that are a gray area, right? There's a gray area. There's a terms of service that covers them from their standpoint. But this one is like, this is affecting our entire community. This is affecting every single person that plays this game. And so I'm not out here trying to push anybody to quit or, do any of that kind of stuff, because I get it. There's people that love this game and they love the friends that they make on this game. And it's not about that, right? It's about the right and wrong of what's going on with Evony, but it's also about, making sure that our community is keeping Evony accountable, but also keeping each other accountable. We can't do the whole only some people get their tickets fixed and only some people, get solutions to them, but not everyone else. Like, this has to be a solution for everyone across the board. The simplest solution is just to put it back to where it was, Evony, right? Put it back. That's it. That's all I have to say on this topic. And if you guys can reach out to all the other YouTubers, I think every single YouTuber should be putting this out and also urging their viewers to write to CS. That's the only way we're going to be able to get this done. And look, if we can start working together as a community, I think we're going to get by much better. So that's all I have to say. Here's a parting picture of feet for you. I don't get the appeal of feet. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I had to search feet because when I searched Helen, I couldn't find the screenshot. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to search feet because I'll find it. And sure enough, pops up Helen's feet. So yeah. So I'm sorry to have a very serious video for you guys, but yeah, it's unfortunate. So anyways, have a good day and I'll see you guys soon.